The 2010 U.S. men's national team had more to prove than perhaps any lacrosse team ever assembled. They were stars that needed to earn their stripes. This was the Redeem team. Its task? Beat Canada. But redemption comes in many forms. Perhaps there's no better place to start than with Brian Doherty, the trash-talking, cheesesteak-eating goalkeeper and Team USA's oldest player. An injury prevented him from trying out for the 2006 U.S. team, the team that would eventually lose to Canada for the first time in 28 years. This was Doc's swan song.
Putting the USA jersey on is unlike anything that any national championship, any high school state championship, any big game you think you've ever played in. Nothing compares.
Up and down the U.S. roster, redemption stories prevailed. Like Ryan McClay, an all-world defenseman in 2002 who was cut from the team in 2006, only to fight his way back in 2010. Like Ryan Boyle, he watched the 2006 final from an unlikely spot, the bench, and swore he would not let it happen again. Boyle joined Matt Strebel and co-captain Kevin Cassis as three-time Team USA members. Kyle Sweeney and co-captain Ryan Powell were also there for the disappointment of 2006.
It's been a long 4 years thinking about this and working towards it, so I'm here to win it, and I'm going to play to the best of my ability to help our team win.
Face-off specialist Alex Smith was not shy about his rivalry with Team Canada's Jeff Snyder, the MVP of the 2006 World Championships.
Well, I remember in '06 when I was actually in a restaurant with a couple other buddies, and I was watching the game unfold, and I was watching Snyder win time after time after time. If a number of guys were on that team that year that were strictly face-off guys, that wouldn't have been happening.
Snyder wasn't the only Canadian who needed neutralizing. John Grant Jr., Canada's bruising, crafty veteran on attack, also required special attention. Team USA turned to Sean Nadalin, but 6 months before the World Games, Nadalin injured his knee playing for the Philadelphia Wings.
It took me about 2 minutes, and then to sulk a little bit, and then I was like, all right, next step, surgery, let's get this thing rolling, and no time to waste.
Minus Nadalin, the U.S. would take on Mike Pressler's former team, Duke, in a January exhibition at Champion Challenge in Orlando. Even with Duke's best player, a Team USA rookie named Ned Crotty, on its side, the U.S. lost on national TV. If that loss was a wake-up call, Team USA's comeback win over the MLL All-Stars in its final exhibition 6 months later was a call to arms.
We had a meeting afterwards just talking about feeling like little kids again, where you're celebrating every ground ball, you're celebrating every goal, you're celebrating a save.
We didn't have that kind of passion all the time in every single game that we played in '06, so that's something that we certainly want to do in 2010.
U.S. went to work. It started with a win over Australia. Team USA rode the hot hands of Max Siebold and Brendan Mundorf. The top scorer for Australia in 2006, Mundorf now bore that distinction for the U.S. There would be no time for reunions, however. Canada loomed less than 24 hours later.
Canada has a whole different emotion to this group. The emotion of '06, the 4 years of talking about a silver medal when our goal was gold.
Behind an inspired performance by goalie Chris Sanderson, playing for the first time since life-threatening brain surgery in 2008, Canada dealt Team USA another dubious loss, its first ever defeat in a World Championship preliminary.
They came out and showed their hand. We held a few things back, so 10-9 can't feel too bad about it. We didn't play too hot, so we have a few things up our sleeves that we're going to mix in.
The Americans rebounded in a big way. Decisive wins over Germany, England, upstart Japan, and then Japan again set up another epic gold medal match between Canada and the United States. Was DJ Driscoll right? Did Team USA have an ace up its sleeve? Paul Rabel was a known quantity, and number 99 did not disappoint. 3 blistering top-shelf goals staked the U.S. to an 8-4 lead.
They let Rabel step into about 14 yards, and he has the fastest shot on the planet, timed at 111 miles an hour at Major League Lacrosse's All-Star Showcase halftime.
Rabel all day to run, fires and scores again. Paul Rabel loves his left hand.
Canada stormed back to take a 10-9 lead.
Two remarkable athletes who bounced back from all of those painful days of rehabilitation, all the work in the weight room. Sean Nadelin's wife Mary so involved as Grant Jr. turns and scores.
But it had no answer for Crotty in the fourth quarter. The team's youngest player, who had been quiet throughout the tournament, who delivered when it counted most, first with a low-to-high rope off a feed from Mike Lavelle.
Crotty follows Rabel's right-handed move. Right here, Rabel draws the crowd. Lavelle dissects the defense. Didn't think Crotty had much of an angle. Tewaaraton winner out of Duke. Biggest goal of his post-collegiate career.
And then a few minutes later, with a high bounce shot he nailed as he fell to the turf.
Crotty jets towards the crease. Crotty on the dive. He does it again. Ned Crotty.
He single-handedly turned a 10-9 deficit into an 11-10 U.S. lead.
I had a couple runs at the beginning of the game, and then it got a little close. Went to Paul and those guys, and then finally gave me a call in the fourth quarter, and I just made the most of my opportunities.
What about Crotty, who was just kind of a hidden element?
I mean, ice in his veins. In the end, I was like, do you think he was like planning on taking the shots, or do you think he just didn't realize how big of a stage?
When we picked this team, as you know, it was all about not quote the best players, but the best players in certain roles to make us the best team. And as you saw today, that proved to be true.
Once Crotty gave them the lead, the Americans refused to yield. Lavelle scored on an empty net.
Trying to exact revenge from an 06 loss, the United States 15 seconds from being world champions once more. That'll do it. The United States comes to Manchester, England, and will return back home the 2010 world champs.
That's how we do it, baby! Sitting here with this thing wrapped around my back, it's for your country, and it's it's something that they had, that we needed to get back.
We dreamed of this. This was our destiny. The script was written. We just had to go out here and prove it.
The United States was world champion once again. Redeemed team indeed.
That's a good ending to this.